Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to talk all about an absolutely awesome game deal that is available at our good friends at Fanatical, a deal under the price of $4, and it's a terrific game. Little bit of controversy with the game. I always bring it up whenever I talk about the game, but I still think the game is very much worthwhile to play. So we'll talk about that and a bunch of other deals at Fanatical as well. So we'll talk all those as well. But first of all, Disco Elysium is the star deal over at Fanatical, and it is down to $3.59. This is an absurdly good deal for a phenomenal narrative-driven game. Now, emphasis on narrative-driven. This is not an action-heavy game. This isn't a game that's going to be for everyone in the sense that it is a little bit slower paced. It is a little bit more methodical in its approach. I'm not crazy about, like, you know, the chance mechanic as far as some of the decision-making process and, you know, some of that tied to it, but I think from a art style standpoint, atmosphere standpoint, the writing is phenomenal. Like, those aspects of this game are absolutely phenomenal, and thematically, it's definitely one of the more mature video games that you're gonna play. Now, the thing is, there was a lot that went down with the developers of this game and the publisher of the game. Whenever I talk about Disco Elysium, I just talk about the game itself, but I know some people don't want to support it on that basis and they want to sail the high seas or whatever, but yeah, I would still say for $3.59 the deal is absurdly good, and as a narrative-driven title, if you're remotely into story-driven games, it's one that's an absolute must-play, but you just gotta know what you're getting yourself into. Again, it is more methodical, more slower pace. It's not gonna be for everybody, so just keep that in mind, and if you do, I think you'll end up having a great time with it. It's just, if you do expect something faster paced, action heavy, you're gonna be a little bit disappointed by it, so keep that in mind, but $3.59 on that is excellent. RoboCop Rogue City is $3.99 whenever this is south of $5. It's one of the easiest recommendations to make. It's a really good game that I think has gotten a lot of attention based on its price point, and hey, that's not a bad thing. Whenever we see a lot of games that kind of hold on to their price points, and that's fine for certain games, but I look at, you know, maybe like a Lies of P that's been $30, and I really like Lies of P, but it's just like, dude, can we get that game a little bit cheaper? That sometimes when a game does get super cheap, it just opens the door for so many people to check it out, and I think that happened exactly with RoboCop Rogue City, and the thing is, it probably made so many people check out this game that they ended up enjoying the game, and then they checked out Unfinished Business as well, the standalone expansion, and I bring up Lies of P because literally, it had kind of the same release pattern where that game had an expansion release as well, but the game just held up in price at $30. Hell, it got pulled from Game Pass, and then people that played it on Game Pass wanted to go back and play, but you're asking for $60 for the base game and the expansion. It's just expensive to get that game, and sometimes it's just like, alright, dude, I get it, you know, there's an argument to be made for games holding up in price. You know, Nintendo gets away with doing that a lot, but the other time, you know, you'll get a lot of attention and positive attention if you do discount your game heavily, and I think RoboCop Rogue City was the beneficiary of that quite a lot, and if you've yet to pick it up, $3.99 on that great deal there over at Fanatical. Talos Principle is $4.49, a really stylish puzzle game. You know, puzzle games really aren't my cup of tea as far as the games that I often go to, but this is a pretty solid one with some great visuals, and thematically, it's got some philosophical tones to it as well. It also got a remake that came out not too long ago. I believe it's called Reawaken. This is the original game, so keep that in mind. But for $4.49, I think this is a solid pickup, so I wanted to give that a mention. Borderlands 4 is 30% off for the base game at $49. Deluxe Edition is $70. Super Deluxe Edition is $91. This has been getting quite a lot of attention as far as Borderlands 4 already being discounted, and somebody commented, somebody tweeted at me as well about it going on sale and being like, hey, how cheaper is it gonna get by the holiday sale? Look, I'm gonna say this whenever I talk about Borderlands 4, and it doesn't get to the price point I'd like it to be. Look, I'm in a very great position where I get to play all of these games, but I try to keep it objective with you guys, at least from looking at the lens of the common person. There is absolutely no possible way I can recommend this game at $49 because so much of the relevant content is going to be tied to the Super Deluxe Edition. I'm telling you guys, that's what Gearbox, that's what 2K Games is banking on, for people to ultimately buy the DLC for this game, because we know that this game was super expensive to develop. The budget of this game ballooned up, and there's very, very relevant content that's going to be tied to that Super Deluxe Edition, including the coolest Vault Hunter, in my opinion, is being tied to the first piece of major DLC that's coming out in early 2026. I wouldn't get the standard edition. Guys, the game is not that good. You already waited a month. At this point, the FOMO should be gone. You're not missing out on anything. It's Borderlands. You know what it is. You guys know what this is if you've played Borderlands in the past. Is the gunplay good? Sure. Is it $91 good? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I would say everybody that when I was doing preview videos of this game and people were commenting, yeah, I'll pick this up in 2 to 3 years when the Super Deluxe Edition is like 20, 30 bucks. Y'all are all on the money. That is the right play to make, because it is a worthwhile game to absolutely go through. It's not a $91 worthwhile game. Like, we gotta keep it 100 here. It's not $91 worth it. It certainly wasn't $130 worth it. I enjoyed my time with it. Again, I thought the gameplay was enjoyable. I still, again, it might be just me being old and washed up. I still think some of the dialogue is, like, I like some of the dialogue, and then some of it I was just like, okay, this is ridiculous. And narratively, really didn't do anything for me. But, you know, you get into Borderlands from a gameplay standpoint, and to be fair, I played this game solo, mostly solo. Is that the way you should be playing Borderlands? Probably not. That's how I play it, and, you know, I had a good time playing it solo, but, it's not a game that I'll think about again. It's not a Game of the Year contender, not even close to me, but, yeah, whatever. It's $49. If you want to check it out, you can, but, like, I'm gonna try to save people the money. Look, we just know how this is gonna go. The Super Deluxe Edition is gonna be dirt cheap, and guess what? The Super Deluxe Edition might not even end up giving you all the DLC. Borderlands 3 got a second season pass. I could totally see Borderlands 4 getting that. The only thing is, like, I feel like nobody cares about Borderlands 4. Everybody that I've talked to that has beaten this game, it's like, alright, I beat the game. Time to move on with my life. I'm never going back to it again. Literally every single person in my personal life, and I get it, small sample size there, but I did find it rather interesting that every single one of them, they beat the game, and now they're like, alright, yeah, I'm done with this game. I'm never going back again. Because I've asked every single one of them, hey, you hear about the DLC? Are you gonna get the DLC down the line? Because most of my buddies picked up the $70 edition if they did buy the game, and every single one of them is like, no, done with the game. And it's not like they had anything that negative to say about the game outside of, you know, definitely heard some people, some of my buddies make criticisms about the performance, but generally speaking, it seemed like everybody's like, yeah, it was a fine game. I'm moving on with my life, but I'm done with it. And I think, you know, for the person that is financially cognizant and conscious about how much money they spend on games, it's just, I cannot in good conscience recommend this game at this price point. But yeah, I know I'm going on a tangent on it because I think it's a relevant tangent to have because the price point was such a discussion point about this game leading into its release. Alright, a couple of other deals I'll note. Absolum, a game that's getting a lot of attention. 88 on Metacritic, how about that? Done by the people that brought you Streets of Rage 4. Absolum mixes top-of-the-class combat action with modern roguelite elements, bringing all the vibes of the fantasy arcade hits into the past, into an immersive adventure set in the original world of Talma. $19.49 on this, 22% off. Again, getting a lot of attention. They sent me a copy of the game, so I'm excited to check it out when I get some free time, as far as, you know, not playing it all the other games I am, but $19.49 on that. And then Tekken 8 is $27.29. I really dug Tekken 8. I like the Tekken, I like Tekken as a fighting game franchise in terms of it being super fast-paced. I like the character design, soundtrack is phenomenal, but obviously quite expensive at $27.29. And then I'd be remiss if I don't give the Bethesda Legends Bundle another mention. $3.50 an item. You're talking great games like Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, Wolfenstein 2, Dishonored 2, Dishonored Definitive Edition, Fallout New Vegas is in there as well, the Ultimate Edition of that. $3.50 an item. Great bundle there. 2 items minimum, and then 5+ games will knock it down to $3 an item. But that's going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. Links to everything in the description box below. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.